Bonsoir tout le monde qui a regardé l'émission Law, Politics and Society. Nous sommes bien contents d'être retourner là et de joindre nous encore dans l'autre émission. Well, nous reconnaissons que saison élection toujours sous nous. Élection pour qu'on finisse. Nous avons une élection présidentielle là qui toujours est à parti là avec Hillary, avec Donald Trump. Nous avons une élection locale, nous avons une élection État, et puis nous avons une élection pour congressmen et congresswomen. Eh bien, une élection que nous reconnaissons qui est toujours importante pour nous, c'est l'élection juge. Eh bien, à ce moment-là, nous avons pour nous parler avec un candidat qui a essayé pour venir représenter nous, pour venir juge dans Miami-Dade County. Eh bien, nous reconnaissons que chose ça, nous toujours gagné, ma co-host, ma partner, Max Osinal. Eh bien, nous connaissons que à ce moment-là, Max Osinal, pas avec nous à ce moment-là, c'est moi-même qui a fait choix, m'a essayé pour moi que si je entrer dans gros soulier que Maxo gagné, de quoi que moi-même pour continuer à faire choix. So encore nous disons merci d'être qu'on été branché avec nous, d'être qu'on continue à garder l'émission ça, supporter nous dans l'émission ça. Encore, nous gagnons for the first time in Law, Politics and Society, we have Circuit Court Judge candidate Mark Blumstein. Mark, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Andre. Bonsoir.
Bonsoir. I understand that you were born in Miami, Florida. You have lived here all of your life, except for, of course, going to different places to serve our country. But you have a beautiful history. I mean, you mix your parents, Cuban and Jewish.
Yes.
I mean, that's one country is right next door to Miami, and the other country is really far away. So tell us about that.
I'm happy to do that, and I thank you very much for having me here on your program and allowing me to speak to the Haitian American community of Miami-Dade County. So a little bit about my history. You're correct. I was born and raised in Miami-Dade County 47 years ago. Now it's no mystery, you know my age.
Right.
And my parents actually were both born in Havana, Cuba, basically in the 20s. And my grandparents, their parents, came from Eastern Europe, countries of Poland and Russia at the time. So they have migrated, like many Americans, from Europe and to the Caribbean, and then here to Miami via New York.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes. And so...
so they made a stop in Cuba before they get to Miami?
Yes, yes. So my grandparents left Europe in the early 20s and came to Cuba, where they lived for many years, and they had several children, including my parents, and before eventually coming to the United States. In fact, my father came to the United States in the early 40s during World War II, and actually served the United States Armed Forces and the Army specifically during World War II. He was actually far braver than I am in that he was a parachutist for the Army during World War II and served in the Far East in Japan.
Okay. Wow. Then from there, they came to Miami.
Yes.
You were born in Miami, Florida.
Correct.
You went to, elementary, middle, high school here in Miami.
Yes, in the Miami-Dade County public school system, in fact. And my father was a public school teacher for many years. So many people in the community here in South Florida knew him, had him as a teacher. And many learned their Spanish from my father, and I'm included in that group. I too had my father as a teacher of Spanish, so that's how I can speak Spanish now.
So tú hablas español?
Sí, yo hablo bien el español.
Okay. ¿Poquito o muy bien?
Muy bien.
Muy
sí.
bien. Okay.
Mejor que Creole.
I could be your Creole teacher.
I welcome it.
Okay.
I welcome it.
So from there, what did you do after you graduated high school?
So post high school, I went to study at the University of Florida, business specifically, finance, and I graduated from there in 1991. And then after that, I actually went to work for a few years. I worked locally in South Florida, first in the retail management industry, and then into banking, which is what I had studied, before deciding to go on to law school. And then law school for me began in 1993, and I completed my legal studies at Nova Southeastern University here in Fort Lauderdale, where I got my Juris Doctorate degree, magna cum laude, with a focus on trial advocacy, which was what I wanted to do always. I wanted to be a trial attorney.
Right.
And that's what I did. So when I...
so you graduated law school in 1996?
Yes, and before I graduated law school, I actually interviewed to serve in the United States Armed Forces, specifically in the Navy, as what we call a Judge Advocate General. And that is essentially a lawyer who serves in the military, in the different branches, but specifically for me, I chose the Navy. So I received my commission as an officer in the United States Navy while attending law school, so that upon graduation, I went right into the Navy as a lawyer to serve our nation. And I did that actively for the first 4 to 5 years of my legal career, where I served as both a criminal prosecutor as well as a criminal defense attorney at different times during that portion of my career.
We're going to talk about that because you don't find too many people that can actually do both. You know, I mean, I'm assuming that you become a prosecutor, spend many years doing that, then after that you become a defense attorney.
Correct. So you get familiar with both sides of the aisle. You learn how to build a case, and you also learn how to attack a case and really challenge the evidence.
Okay.
So that was how my career started as a lawyer. And of course, in that time, I also got married.
We're going to get to your personal life in a minute. I mean, you gave us a broad overview of what you have been doing, but at this moment, you know, we're going to take a quick break, not for long, and we want to say thank you again to the audience for watching Law, Politics, and Society. We'll be back in a minute.
Sinal Consulting Group, c'est un consultant business center pour business plan, incorporation, 501c3 for non-profit, income tax préparation. Sinal Consulting Group, c'est la référence. 305 308 82 29. Office là offre tout, life insurance, money management et investment. Relais jodi pour une consultation gratuite 305 308 82 29.
Si vous avez besoin d'un avocat pour immigration, cas criminel, l'État et fédéral, relais avocat dans le bureau André Pierre dans 305 398 96 46. Pour accident machine, dérangement dans le travail, glisser et tomber, relais avocat André Pierre dans 305 398 96 46. Ou ka gen droit jusqu'à $10 000 dans bénéfice. C'est seul un avocat qui a fait rejoindre l'argent. Nous ici là pour servir. Si vous pas touché, nous pas touché. Ou pas pral doué frais avocat avec des pensions. Relais avocat André Pierre dans 305 398 96 46 ou soit aller dans 550 Northeast 124e rue dans North Miami.
Mark, before we took the break, we were talking about, you know, your background, both professional and personal, and you started to talk about getting married and having children.
Right. So on that note, I got married just after completing law school, as I started my naval career, and I actually got stationed first in Norfolk, Virginia, and then after that, I was asked to relocate to Naples, Italy.
Oh,
and
wow.
so we picked up and went with the Navy over to Italy. At that point, I was married, and while we were there, we actually had our first child, our oldest child, in Italy. And it wasn't too long after that the second child was coming along. And when that happened, my wife said, she gave me an order. She said, it's time to come back to Miami. So we came back to Miami. I left active duty, unfortunately for me, because I really did enjoy serving. But we came back to Miami, Florida in the year 2000 with our oldest child and the second on his way. And then I settled here into my civilian practice. So I went from the criminal world of practice of law to the civil practice of law. And I then joined local firm before joining another local firm, and practiced primarily civil litigation, commercial litigation, some admiralty law, and other matters, family law as well, while locally here in the South Florida community. And it was in about 2008 that I decided to open up my own law practice. Because at that point I had a good amount of experience under my belt. I knew how to navigate the local courts and the systems, both civil and as well as in the criminal arena, and I felt comfortable enough to do it. So in 2008, I hung up my shingle, opened up my practice, and I continued to do civil litigation, commercial litigation, both from a defense perspective as well as from a plaintiff's perspective. So in that sense, as you know, as an attorney, I represented both sides of the aisle. Again, like in the criminal world, I was learning how to build cases and at the same time trying to defend against claims. So I think that balance has served me well right now to be able to take that next step in my career and hopefully become the next circuit court judge.
Before we get to the campaign, I think you skipped something. I mean, were you elected?
Oh, yes. Well, okay. So while here locally in this, everything I've just described to you with my legal practice, I also took up some public service in my local community. So I live in the town called Surfside, Florida, which is basically on the ocean north of Miami Beach and before you get to Bal Harbor. And in that community, I was called upon to serve that community and help with its transition, because it was a more of a bedroom community with an older generation that was now moving to a younger family-oriented population. So I was blessed to be able to get elected as a commissioner in the town of Surfside and serve as a leader in that community. And that was back in 2006, I believe it was. So yeah, it was about a decade ago now. And that was a very useful and productive service. And then after that, I decided to focus more on the practice of law. And it wasn't too long after that that I was called upon by our local leaders of the Miami-Dade County Commission to volunteer my time in service to the community, both on the Citizens Transportation Advisory Board as well as on the Military Affairs Committee, given my military background and experience.
Wow. Well, your brother.
I have a brother too,
okay.
Yes.
He's a friend of mine. Okay, I've known him for almost 10 years. Nice guy, he served in different capacities.
Yes.
While I serve as the mayor for the city of North Miami, when I'm dealing with issues with the school board or with downtown, he's always available. He picked up the phone quickly and helped me navigate the school system and helped me get my issues resolved. If you have as good as your brother.
Thankfully, my brother, he's actually my younger brother. So many people think I'm the younger brother. But,
okay.
But yeah, you're talking about my brother Gerald, who works for the Dade County Public School System. And he's actually, he's a teacher by trade and then evolved into basically a chief of staff for a school board member who was a fellow colleague of his, Dr. Martin Karp, who then got elected as a school board member for this community here. So yes, he has been a tremendous help, not just as you described to people like you in the community, but also in my efforts to become the next circuit court judge. And he does that in his spare time.
Wow.
Yes.
Now, finally, you've been serving in different capacity.
Yes.
No one can question your experience. No one can question your knowledge. No one can question your integrity. No one can question your fairness. No one can really question that if they do appear before you as a judge, that they will get a fair treatment. Why did you wait so long to announce that you would like to represent them in that capacity?
Well, you know, making that transition to become a judge is not easy, and it shouldn't be taken lightly. You know, the qualifications to serve as a judge are very minimal in the state of Florida. You merely have to be a 5-year practicing attorney and in good standing with the Florida bar. Those requirements most people could fill.
Right.
But, you know, for me, life is about timing. You know, things happen for a reason at different times in your life. And, you know, when I was building my practice, I was, of course, wearing 2 hats. One hat was as a practitioner of the law civilly, and another was a practitioner of law in the military. So I really have had 2 jobs for my entire legal career, and that was good for many reasons. It helped develop me as an attorney. It helped develop me as a leader. And I think those are key elements to serving as a judge, because you can't just be a good attorney to be a good judge.
So now you're ready.
I think I'm ready now. And my service in the military, specifically last year, which I haven't yet mentioned, last year I was asked to deploy with the U.S. military to a little country called Djibouti, which is in East Africa, on the continent of Africa, close to Ethiopia and Somalia. And that calling was another time for me to reflect on, okay, what is the next chapter that Mark Blumstein wants to write for his service? Because I am a man of service. I've always been a man of service my entire life. And that's when I felt the timing was right for me to now try to become the next circuit court judge in Miami-Dade County.
And while you were there, you were interviewed.
I was interviewed.
It was Skype.
Technology is amazing. You know, I was not able to come and interview in person, face to face, like we're doing now. So the Florida bar actually interviewed me via Skype, which had its challenges, but we worked it out.
Right.
Everything went fine.
Okay. Then when you came back to Miami, you decided that you want to actually run rather than getting appointed to become the next circuit court judge.
Right, and that's because there were 3 retiring judges, which created what's called an open seat. So it wasn't like I was trying to challenge a sitting judge. They were just open seats that anyone that was qualified to serve could try and win. And I think it's good because it gave me the opportunity to really go out into the very diverse Miami-Dade County community and really hear and speak to the constituents, the electorate, the people that decide who our public servants are. And that was, I think, a great way to identify with the issues that each community faces, because the issues for Haitian Americans are different for Cuban Americans or for just Anglo Americans. Every community has its issues, and I think the electoral process is a good opportunity for the public servants to learn and listen. And that's what you need as a judge. You need to be able to learn the facts and listen to the facts. And you know, as an attorney or a judge, you can't promise results.
Right.
But what I can promise are 3 things, and I put them on paper for anyone to see, and on my website too. And those 3 things that I promise are that I will be fair, as you've alluded to, that I will be impartial, number 2, and number 3, that I will be respectful. And respectful not just to all the people that come before the court, no doubt they will have my respect, but at the same time respectful to the law, because the judges must follow the law that the legislature creates, so long as the law is a lawful law, right? It's no different than in the military. We must follow orders of our superiors, but those orders must be lawful.
Right.
We can't just follow unlawful orders. So the same way judges must, follow the law, but the law must be deemed constitutional, because at the end of the day, we all must adhere to the Constitution. So that's what I promise to do.
Good. We're going to get into the campaign in a minute, but let's take another break. You are watching Law, Politics, Society. We'll be right back.
Si vous avez besoin d'un avocat pour immigration, cas criminel, l'État et fédéral, relais avocat yo dans bureau André Pierre dans 305 398 96 46. Pour accident machine, dérangement dans le travail, glisser et tomber, relais avocat André Pierre dans 305 398 96 46. Ou ka gen droit jusqu'à 10 000 $ dans bénéfice. C'est seul un avocat qui a fait rejoindre l'argent. Nous ici là pour servir. Si vous pas touché, nous pas touché. Ou pas pral doué frais avocat avec dépenses. Relais avocat André Pierre dans 305 398 96 46 ou soit aller dans 550 Northeast 124e rue dans North Miami.
Hi, this is Dr. Barbanel. I wanted to discuss what you should do after you've been involved in an accident. It's very important to seek medical attention immediately after an accident so you could properly diagnose your condition. There could be severe injuries that you may not realize that are going on, and we're very experienced in dealing with that here in my office.
After my accident, I was experiencing very bad neck and back pain. I came to see Dr. Barbanel and his staff, and they helped me have a speedy recovery.
You could expect a very knowledgeable staff and doctors that are going to assist you with all your accident needs.
El doctor Barbanel es uno de los mejores doctores que hay en esta oficina. Llevo años aquí trabajando y me siento muy cómoda. Los pacientes cada vez que se van siempre se van felices y los podemos ayudar en español, en criollo y en inglés. Hablamos 3 idiomas.
Dr. Darwin, c'est un bon docteur, un bon chiropracteur. Il a un peu d'expérience depuis la traité patient qui fait accident de machine et puis accident de travail et tout. Et puis, il a toujours des blagues, même le patient a une douleur à ça pour le patient capable. Et puis, nous sommes disponibles en anglais, français et puis créole.
If you've been injured in an accident, we have offices throughout the South Florida region, including Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach counties. Call me, Dr. Davin Barbanel, directly at 305-934-8444 for all your accident and chiropractic needs.
Mark, you have been endorsed by school board member Dr. Dorothy Mandros Mendegal. You have been endorsed by the mayor for Aventura. You have been endorsed by 1199 SEIU. You have been endorsed by Irvin Gonzalez, who's a very good trial lawyer. You have been endorsed by the PR, the Puerto Rican Bar Association. You have been endorsed by so many mayors, including the mayor of North Miami Beach. You have been endorsed by the League of Prosecutors. You have been endorsed by the United Teachers of Dade. You have been endorsed by the firefighters. I mean, it seemed to me that all the organization, individuals that know what it takes to be a judge and what the job is, seem to me that they are supporting you. They have recommended to the people that you should become the next circuit court judge.
Well, I do appreciate all of those endorsements, and you will note that I decided to put on my hat because every time I go around the county, I always get pointed out as he's the man with the hat. So I figured it was probably an opportune time just to put it on for a few minutes with you.
Right.
And I wear this hat, you know, proudly as a person who has served in the United States Navy for over 20 years. And I think it is important that people understand where I come from, my background, my experience, my service, because after all, judges are public servants. And, you know, as a member of the military, we serve the people of our country and defend the Constitution. And that's similar to judges. So this is the man with the hat. That said, I do appreciate all the endorsements I've received, but one endorsement I want most is the endorsement of the people. As you know, in the primary, which was on August 30th, I was fortunate enough to get the most votes in my group. And I hope that I get the most votes again come election day, November 8th, or during early voting. You can vote anytime now. Early voting, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., and election day, November 8th, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
And those that have their absentee ballots, you know, just make sure they prepare it, send it out.
Yes.
And your punch number, you just call it punch number.
They need to touch that number or fill in that circle. Number 83 is my new number for this election.
Okay.
And I appreciate any and all votes that I receive, because I don't want this to be close. I really want this to be an overwhelming decision by the people of Miami-Dade County, because I really hope that I represent everyone equally and fairly, and I hope that that message has come across, because I have been everywhere that I could think of in Miami-Dade County during this election cycle, ahead of the primary and after the primary. I have been down to Homestead, Perrine, up to Aventura, out to Hialeah Gardens, El Portal,
Miami Gardens, North Miami.
North Miami, of course. I've been really throughout this entire county.
If people want to volunteer for your campaign, or they want to get a hold of the campaign, how do they do that?
The best place to go is blumsteinforjudge.com. That's blumsteinforjudge.com. blumsteinforjudge.com. There's a little button they can check to volunteer their service, and they just fill in their information, send me some kind of phone number or email to get back in touch, and we can use all the help we can get, because remember, this is a very large county. We have early voting, 30 precincts open. During election day, over 800 precincts open. So there's never enough help to be had.
And you got about 1.2 million registered voters in the county?
Absolutely, over that many, and growing every day. Every day. So you know, now the registration's closed, but I'm sure the number has grown since we started. And I hope that everyone comes out and votes for Mark Blumstein for Circuit Court Judge, number 83.
And if someone would like to donate to your campaign?
Same place. On the website, there's a PayPal link that they can donate, or if they want to mail in a check, they can do that. But the deadline comes quickly, so if they choose to, and I welcome, of course, donations, please help.
Well, Judge, you know, there's no doubt that come November 8th, you know, you will be the next Circuit Court Judge for Miami-Dade County, and it's a pleasure to have known you for that long, and have known your brother even longer. So thank you so much for serving our country. You know, we have similar background. I have a brother who served 22 years in the United States Navy. I mentioned that to you before. So thank you so much for serving our country. And you, the viewers, encore nous disons merci. Nous pas contre qui gens nous ka disons merci pour support que vous continuez à nous, moun qui toujours après nous, moun qui toujours à nous idées, moun qui toujours à dire nous qui gens pour nous faire choix avec nous plus bon show. Nous disons merci. Merci pour tout le monde qui a regardé le show. Encore, juge et candidat pour juge, Mark Blumstein, dit nous merci d'est-ce que nous pouvons avoir support qu'il a besoin de quoi pour gagner l'élection. Les fini après ça, les fini gagner, you're going to come back here and say thank you to the people for voting you into office. Pas oublier, regarder law, politics and society. Nous voyons que ma co-host qui toujours chita avec gauche mais parle aujourd'hui, et bien encore la prétourner très bientôt de quoi pour venir communiquer avec nous. Encore, merci, bonne nuit, regardez law, politics and society. Mark?
Merci beaucoup. Au revoir. And I will see you hopefully out on a precinct on election day. Remember Mark Blumstein, number 83. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay.